Hello and welcome to Into the Light. I'm your host, Edina Mauvana, and today we have Amparo Rojas. Amparo is an empowerment coach for entrepreneurs dedicated to supporting individuals on their path of expansion and growth. With a passion for helping clients reach new levels of success, Amparo guides them in fulfilling their life's calling, creating impactful change, and living a fully rich life in all aspects. Amazing. I love that, Amparo. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad to have you.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for the beautiful introduction and for having this amazing platform for so many of us to tune into and just learn.
I'm excited. I love sharing and having these conversations so that we can raise awareness on important issues and spirituality related things, healing, obviously things going on in coaching and helping people improve their life improvement stuff. So I'm excited to have you because it sounds like you've been doing a lot of work. I've been following you for a little while on social media and I see your coaching programs, which look awesome. And it seems like you're focusing right now on coaching entrepreneurs specifically. Is that right? Are you kind of helping other entrepreneurs grow their business and focus on, holistic business entrepreneurship? Is that correct?
That is correct. And it was really interesting because at the beginning of my coaching journey, which now has been 3 years, it was all about working with females and just supporting them through their spiritual awakening. And then my dharma started shifting. And that's when I was like, oh, I have found what I'm actually here to do. And it just feels so fulfilling. So, yeah, I work with entrepreneurs, coaches, women who own small businesses or large businesses as well.
Oh, awesome. So you also incorporate, it sounds like, some of your energy work as well. I know you just said like Dharma started shifting. And so how do you tie in your energy practices or energy work with your coaching practice?
Big theme of my coaching business is really targeting that spiritual journey of entrepreneurship. It's not really about the business itself, and it is at the same time, but it's more so supporting the woman who's going through that entrepreneurship journey. um, Walk that inner journey that they're going through as they're serving the world through their gifts. So, a lot of the work that I do, a lot of the modalities and tools are bits and pieces of embodiment, of reprogramming the subconscious mind, of shadow work, of mirror work, of dancing and integrating the shadows into the dance just to really move through. And then as they still walk that entrepreneurship journey. So I started off as a Reiki healer. I did quantum energy work. I did all of the crystals and modalities, and I incorporate all of those modalities at the time that they're needed.
Amazing.
Who is looking for them.
Right, because we need different things at different times. Sometimes you need body work, sometimes you need coaching, sometimes you need kinds of modalities that I've learned about. So that's awesome. It sounds like you really have a background in a lot of these things, starting with the Reiki and the quantum healing and all of that. So how do you work with people? Do you do one-on-one, or is it or are you doing group coaching as well? How do you really work with your clients right now?
So there's different ways of working with me, and I love that one-on-one interaction. It's so intimate, so beautiful, catered to that specific woman. And I feel like that's where more of the profound transformation is, when we can really look at your journey, your business, and really dive deep. Then I also do, group coaching. I do workshops, master classes. I'm Right now, it's that creative stage for me. I'm coming up with, well, I'm essentially birthing. It happened a couple of days ago. This like group coaching container to just bring in bi-weekly women entrepreneurs and coaches. And what I would do is I would support them through energetics. So whether it's sound baths, meditation, affirmations, just really gather women, come together and support one another, because this entrepreneurship journey is just wild. And I feel like the more we can empower each other, the more we can support each other, whether it's just a moment of feeling held or seen or heard, is incredibly supportive for every single one of us. So, yeah, there's a combination of things, whether it's group coaching, one on one, masterclasses, workshops, there's definitely a lot or something for everyone.
Awesome. And it's interesting because I've seen this pattern before where people like women or people who are on the entrepreneur path, they have to kind of do this deeper shadow work. It seems like your issues start to come up, all kinds of things in your relationships. And so do you see that a lot where it's like, this is bringing on a lot more deeper work that it needs to occur for people in order for them to kind of launch their businesses successfully?
Oh my gosh, the entrepreneurship journey is one of the most wild, difficult, and challenging journeys I have ever embarked on. And I always say this journey will have you face the lower parts of yourself, the parts that are telling you why you can't do it, why you're not deserving, why you're not smart enough, why you're not good enough. And then at the same time, it will have you meet those highest parts of yourself that you never thought you could meet, the women you're becoming, what you can do, the problem solver, the woman who rises so high to achieve, and the ultimate creator, right? Where you get to see yourself throughout the entire journey and say, wow, I am truly creating this. I'm birthing this into existence. So, yeah, it will have you meet those lower parts. And it's all about, I say, like alchemy, right?
Okay.
You're the alchemist of your life. Those lower parts, those shadows are there to be witnessed, to truly be seen, so you can alchemize them and
Mm.
ultimately meet yourself at your highest.
Right. And that's what you're saying when you're co-creating in alignment with the universe or what we want to have happen in our best and highest self life. I talk a lot about that in my book, Ascension is the New Attraction. And so this is kind of like how I got into my spiritual and entrepreneurial journey myself. I started learning about laws of attraction and raising our vibrational energy frequency to attract the things we need. Do you do that work with your clients as well, where it's like kind of based off of these laws of attraction or universal laws?
Absolutely. And every woman that comes into my field, whether it's one on one or group, all of these women are already on that path. They are already learning about law of attraction. They're co-creating with the universe. But our work together is to deepen and strengthen the co-creation aspect of it, which is getting very, very clear on what it is that she's actually desiring to create and how she's going to co-create with the universe, right? Whether it's feeling more of that feminine essence of just resting, nourishing, nurturing, or just in flow. Or maybe it's whether strengthening that masculine energy of showing up, taking action, structuring. So there's different essences of all of that, but it truly is about, working with the law of attraction. It's all interwoven, all interconnected.
Awesome. That's definitely what I've noticed too. And so I'm curious about your background. How did you get into this work? Or I know it sounds like you put a lot of focus on spiritual alignment and co-creating with the universe. And so do you have yourself a religious background or any kind of spiritual practice that you grew up with that led to this?
So I don't have any religion. I don't associate myself with any religion, but when I was younger growing up, I had a heavy presence of Catholicism and I ran away from religion. When my spiritual awakening happened, I was just seeking light and love, and those were things that I had not found in religion from the people who had shown that to me. They had actually shown the shadow aspects of religion. So when I went through this huge spiritual awakening, it was actually through plant medicine.
Oh, okay. Good. I like that.
So I was at a festival, I think it was like 7 years ago now. I did different plant medicines, and it just like opened up my consciousness in a way where I had never experienced something like that before. And I knew that whatever was coming to me was what I was meant to walk through moving forward. And I was introduced to modalities like meditation, and I went on these Zen paths, and I was very drawn to crystals and energy work. And all of my world became that. It was all about spirituality.
Mm.
And a couple years ago, I felt like there was this full cycle where I came back to religion, but not to practice it, but more so to just embrace the beautiful aspects of it. And I realized that there's so much beauty in any religion. I think that ultimately spirituality and religion, when it's done with light and love, that's what it's essentially trying to teach us. Because even in spirituality, there are shadow aspects. There are people who are not embodied or integrated in the work, and they can be teaching all sorts of things that are not helpful for the student. So I don't have a religious practice, but I embrace all religions and I love the beautiful aspects of it for sure.
Awesome. And that makes sense to me. Do you get clients from all different kind of backgrounds religiously, or people who are maybe from like, I mean, I don't know, some of the esoteric stuff sometimes I know from the religious community. I'm from a Muslim background. People don't like to have, a lot of Christians feel that way. All of this stuff goes into like things that are considered too esoteric and outside of the belief system. Do you ever work with people like or having some struggles with their own religious belief systems and doing their own healing work?
Absolutely. And I
Mm.
think the struggle more comes from women who are beginning to awaken to something greater, and they begin to question the religion that they were brought up in. And I think it's a very similar situation with my own journey where they were brought up into a space where maybe more of the shadow aspects were shown to them. And then now they're just really beginning to understand this religion actually has a lot of beauty in it. But the people that are teaching me this are not embodied, they're not integrated, there's still separation, there's still confusion within
Mm.
themselves. So I have a lot of women, I work with Indian women who are very religious, very much in Hinduism. I work with women who are very much Catholic, but still questioning, or Christianity. I talk a lot about Jesus. Jesus is one of my ascended masters that I work with. And there's a lot of women who are attracted towards me and they think I'm Christian. And
Mm.
because I care so much about Jesus, I'm like, well, I'm not Christian. I just love Jesus. And they're like, wait a minute, I thought you were Christian. I'm like, no, but you can still enter my coaching.
Yeah, yeah. Well, then they start to also, some people get offended too, right? When you start to channel people like Jesus, then you're like, what are you talking about? You are not allowed to do that, right? So do you ever get that reaction?
Yeah, I've actually, and it's been really interesting. It's been more men
Mm.
questioning my beliefs than women. I find that very interesting. I find men trying to come into whether it's my Instagram or Facebook and tell me how, if I'm talking about spirituality, how can I be towards Jesus and Christianity? And before I had this sense of people pleasing and I had this like, merging aspect within me that I wanted to make everyone happy. And then I've done so much work around that that I'm like, no. So
Right. Boundaries are set now, and you don't get to assert your project your problems onto me with your religion, right?
oh my gosh, yes. So now, if it's not an experience I don't want to be a part of, I just don't even entertain it. And then I just go around along my way. But yeah, you will get people, whatever you do in life. I think you're always going to have people who are going to question or want to challenge your work, your belief, whatever. And I feel like it's a gift. People to truly challenge you and to question you, because one, you get to become more clear right through the question or the challenge that they're bringing forth. And then two, there's always another way of thinking about things. There's a different way of seeing things, or maybe it's a space where you can just really strengthen and become more confident in your own belief system.
Right. That makes sense to me because as we try and understand more about the universe, we have to reconcile those beliefs with our existing belief system. And I find that a lot of that starts with like the energy work, and then understanding what energy work is, and then like how to relate it back to your belief system to make some logical sense on why it would be working for people. So I think about like quantum healers that I've interviewed. Do you end up talking to your clients about the quantum reality, or like you mentioned channeling higher beings of light? Like, do you end up a lot of times kind of explaining and walking people through what that actually means?
Yes. I mean, first of all, that's an amazing question. So thank you for that question. And then two, absolutely. I feel like there's so many women who are naturally drawn to all of this. And
Mm.
there's such a heavy presence of light beings on this earth that when someone channels into that light or into that being or into love, essentially it's just love, right? It's another form of love. People are naturally intrigued because they're like, what is this woman on? Like, have you
Yeah.
experienced it? Especially
Yeah.
wonderful book that you wrote.
Thank you. Yeah, it's elevation. It's like you're on a different frequency. A vibe is different. So people feel that, they resonate, they're attracted to it. It's the law of attraction. Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes I'll be looking at something and I know that it's like God speaking to me through a certain thing, and I'll just say out loud, God. And then the people, my family or my partner, is just like, what?
Yes.
We're so connected.
It's great that because people, like you said, especially if you're not to the religious traditional practice of an orthodox belief system, but you have a connection to God, it's like people aren't uncomfortable with it, or they just don't know what to even think of that. So I appreciate that, because I feel very connected in my day-to-day life with energetically what's happening. And I think that is what makes your work so beautiful, is you have this connection to divine feminine. And you talk about this, I touched on it a little bit in the intro, but you're really about the feminine embodiment. So I guess you're also helping women connect into their intuitive abilities as well, and to find more alignment that way. Is that something that you're also helping with, as far as their divine feminine energy and some of the shadow work and polarity work that they're dealing with?
Yeah, I know a big theme of my work is learning to trust yourself. And that
Mm.
caters to so many things, whether it's learning to strengthen your intuition, learning to vocalize your voice more, learning to be seen within your masculine, feminine expression in a more embodied way. It really, the core of my work is learning to trust yourself, your gifts, the beautiful work and service that you provide to the world, because every single woman that I work with has the same dreams and desires as I have. And one of those dreams and desires is to be a change maker in the world, to create
Mm.
greater impact through her service, through her gifts, through the magic and the medicine that she has. So every single woman just wants to help with the transitioning of the consciousness of this planet. So, yes, it's a lot of different aspects, right? And different aspects come into play at different times. Shadow work is going to come in a certain day or at a certain time when it needs to. Mirror work is going to be at a different time. Structure planning is going to be at a different time. So that's when I said, that one-on-one longer term is where we can really dive in much deeper, because you go on this journey of discovering what it is that you want to help women with, and then learning how to trust yourself and grow confidently and more powerfully through that journeying.
Right. And I see a lot of talk right now about this. I guess it's also called polarity work, right? Where it's the healing between the masculine side and the feminine side. Do you also find a lot of women who are seeking that kind of, I don't know, maybe a lot of women are becoming aware, oh, I'm really too much in my masculine energy, or men are all having distorted masculine problems in their lives they're attracting that are maybe. So are you helping in this kind of like polarity work that people are doing as well?
Yes, 100%, because that is a must, I believe.
Mm,
And,
yeah.
I am naturally a much more masculine, I have more masculine energy within me.
Mm,
So it's easy for me to take action, to show up, to create, to plan. And
mhm,
I went through a whole year of just doing, producing to the point where it's like a total burnout, right?
mm,
It's
mhm.
like more money, this, more manifestation. And after that whole year, I went very much in my feminine, which was flow and bubble baths and crystals and let's sit and ground. And that took me into a hole that I was like, what? No.
Wow.
So I knew that there needs to be this, and I don't like saying balance, because like I said, for me there's a natural more masculine energy within me. So balance, I feel like it's 50-50, but
Mhm,
more of a harmonization, like
mm,
bringing those both of those energies into harmony. And if you're more of a feminine coach, that's awesome, that's great, show that, express that, but there also needs to be that masculine energy, which is all about your own inner masculine of leading and structuring and long-term planning and goals. um so there needs to be this harmony, and I didn't know that I needed that. I had to
mm.
go through that journey, discover it, and then say, oh wow, women actually need support in this. So that's when we come in as coaches, as guides, as mentors, to support them, and point out those blind spots of like, hey, like, I see you're very much in your feminine, now let's bring a little bit more of that masculine energy in. Or you're very much in your masculine, let's bring a little bit more of that feminine essence in and see how it feels. If it feels right for you, you'll see the shift. If not, then let's go, and flow into another way. But I feel like it is so, so needed, not just for women, but for men as well.
Right, right. Yeah, it's kind of it's the distorted masculine and the distorted feminine issues reflecting each other. And so yeah, and it sounds like you work with coaches, so that you're also helping them so that they can be more effective for their clients as well. Is that right? Are you seeing that that's where people are really um kind of like trying to become better coaches themselves and they
Yeah.
work with you? Mm-hmm.
Yes, because I think one of my biggest purposes as a coach is to support women become leaders. Like,
Mm-hmm.
really own that piece of them that is the teacher, that is the guide, that is the person that can hold. And I feel that so strongly because there's so many women in leadership positions already
Mm-hmm.
that if they were more in their feminine, there would be such a greater impact in this world. So
Yes.
that is a huge focus of mine, just supporting women become leaders so we can
More
really,
impactful. Yeah.
oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, it's like impactful. That's why, we will hear things like you can become more impactful leader with your feminine energy side and not being, yeah. So I love that you have that mission to really make women leadership more impactful, because then we can see more of it and there'll be more success and people will thrive in that environment. So that's awesome. And so I what about your work with like the sound, like, so all these different modalities, so people are coming in, like you have sound baths, you have quantum energy healing. Is it like, do people usually do like a certain, I know you said that you're putting together the coaching program, is it like a 6 month thing, or how long do people usually work with you through this transformation process?
Yeah, so I usually do 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a coaching offer right now, which I'm, talking about nonstop, which is I absolutely love, which is
Yeah.
visibility. It's an
Visibility of what?
visibility and profit.
And profit. Okay, cool.
It's about supporting the woman who wants to clarify her message so she can begin to show up in her content with a really fun, easy way. So she can really begin to create community and just attract her ideal clients. So that's an 8-week offer that I have But my one-on-one coaching is 3 months and then 6 months. And then once you have moved into a 6 month coaching, then we go full force, like 1 year. We work together for the entire year so you can see the shifts and the leaps and bounds. But yeah, it's more of a long-term commitment when I work with one-on-one.
Right. And then you have like a master group or master class group that women are a part of once they're maybe more on that long-term path with you.
So right now, what I have is just free master classes and free workshops.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so I have one every month, free masterclass or a free workshop. Um, and then the one-on-one is, year round. Women can plug into it whenever they feel called to. But right now, what I am creating, which is like what I was talking about at the beginning, is that it's going to be a 6 month container, and
Hmm.
it's going to be bi-weekly, and it's going to be completely free. It's
Oh,
kind of
wow.
like, yeah, it's going to be like a networking, but with sound baths, with meditations. I'm going to have special speakers come in, and it's only going to be 1 hour bi-weekly. But what I've been realizing is that this year I've been calling in sisterhood, which I think
Mm.
is so crucial. I was like, okay, like, and it just came to me. I was like, it's time to create like a sacred group of women who are entrepreneurs, who are coaches, who are small business,
Yes.
and just bring each other together. And this is completely free, bi-weekly calls. And then I'll have, special guests, tarot readers, astrology readers, sound bath facilitators. And for 30 minutes, we're going to connect. And the last 15 minutes, that person is going to provide a reading or a sound bath. And it's just really to like interconnect with other coaches and entrepreneurs all over the world. So
Oh, I love it. That's amazing. Yes, we're all I find a lot of us are seeking this connection and these groups and these these cohorts, and then those it's all about building that community, and especially with, like you said, feminine embodiment and feminine community building to support each other, and then have more impactful leadership. It's amazing. Thank you for sharing. I love the work you're doing.
thank you.
Yeah. And so where do you see people, like, okay, so if our listeners are hearing this, like, obviously they want to reach out to you, where's the best place to get in touch with you, or start to try and access some of these programs?
Yeah, so everything is on my website in the link in my bio, which is mostly on Instagram. I do have Facebook, but I really love Instagram, the platform. So that's where I hang out. That's
Yeah.
where I, do all of my work. So anyone who wants to connect with me, they can find me on Instagram, Amparo Rojas __. And then, they can send me a message, just connect with me. And honestly, I do that once I have a follower. I always reach out, say hello, a little bit about my work, what I do, and then I just begin to connect with them. So Instagram is the best platform.
Awesome. Yeah, I love it. And I'm going to have all your links posted below this episode as well, so people can find you. And yeah, it sounds like, so then you kind of figure out what challenge they're facing most. So it sounds like women who are, maybe facing something. Is it generally like people who are trying to overcome something, and they're seeking your next level help, or who are the people that you're hearing from most, like right now, where are they struggling that you can really help most with?
Yeah. So all of the women right now that I'm working with are entrepreneurs and coaches, and they are challenged in meeting their financial goals within their business. They're not
Mm.
attracting clients. Maybe they're creating, putting out offers, but they're not selling their offers. So that's where I come in. I support
Mm.
them in clarifying the message, in showing up online, in expressing their work, knowing exactly who they serve and how they serve. So through the journey of us working together is we set up the structure of the offers. We move through any energetics, any mental blocks, emotional blocks that might keep them from, I'm not good enough, this isn't working out, I don't know how to do this, my offer isn't going to sell, but someone else is already doing it. Like they're doing it,
Yeah, all those things.
all of those things. So that's where I come in. So they can begin to provide their services and speak directly to their ideal clients. Like just stop speaking to a sea full of people and just
Yes.
your people. So then they begin to see the cash coming in. They get really excited. Their business is growing. So that's what I support with.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, that's the hard part. So when we're all trying to attract clients and really struggling with that. So I love it. And then it sounds like you can help in a very holistic way, lots of different areas, mental, physical, and all of the that shadow work that comes up. So yeah, that's amazing. I think your group program sounds awesome. How you have a lot of free resources. So I definitely want to start tapping in and this is amazing because I want to be part of these groups and I know a lot of the listeners do too. So thank you for all the work you do. um, any final thoughts before we wrap up or final, words of wisdom you like to share with the audience, things like that you'd like to leave us with?
Yeah, I think the words, when you were asking that question, the words be you came up.
You, I love it.
I think we're all naturally, as coaches and entrepreneurs, trying to find the next strategy, the next course, the next coach to come and either validate or confirm that we are worthy of it.
Mm,
But
mhm.
when we can begin to just tune inward and really tap into our beingness of who we are, and really allow ourselves, right? Give ourselves a permission to express that within our coaching, within our businesses, within our service and our medicine, people will naturally be drawn to the work. So, anyone listening, right now, just be you, trust yourself. You already know exactly what to do. It's just time to take action.
Yes, and come as you are. It's it sounds like it's a great thing to provide support and encouragement and also just all of the valuable energy work and things that you can provide. So I love it because people need this support so badly. We need our coaches and our healers and all of it together to help be successful on the journey. So I think that's great. Be you and people that we know what's inside of us. It's like you get that spark going and you can feel it, and you sometimes have too much like blockages or resistance or negative self-talk that holds us back. So that's really, I think what we're trying to break through all the time. That's how I feel.
Yes, I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, amazing, Amparo. Well, thank you so much for being here. And this was a great conversation. I learned so much about your work and who you're helping. And this is great because I definitely have a few women in mind that I want to send this information to. So we're going to get it out there. And yeah, thank you so much for being here today. I really enjoyed our conversation.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And thank you for, trusting yourself to create this beautiful community because you're definitely shifting through your work and your words and your podcast the lives, I'm sure, of many, many women. So thank you.
Thank you so much. We hope to be the change in the world we're all trying to create. So yeah, I'm just excited to have you on the show. And like I said, we'll have all of your information linked at the bottom of this episode and hope to have you back soon. Thank you so much, Amparo. Have a great day. Thank you.